Good evening. It truly is an honor to be here this evening, and all I can say is what a ride this has been. I mean, it has been incredible. I have had real highs and unfortunately some real lows, and I've had a lot of support from my canvassers, Jackie and Brenda, Hadley, Andre. You've all been there for me, some nicer moments than others. It's an interesting experience putting yourself out as a white candidate for the PLP, when unfortunately people in this country are still not prepared to look beyond color. So therefore, I haven't had it, I am happy to say, from any of the members of the PLP family or their supporters, but the UBP have not been as kind. I actually asked the question yesterday, what would happen to a black UBP candidate going into a white home? I hope he doesn't or she doesn't get the treatment that I've had in some homes. I hope that we can all move forward as a country, because if we don't move forward as a country together, we will never grow. And until we can do that, until we can put race aside, and until we can say, yes, we have to move this forward, this country forward together as one, then we won't get any further. And I truly believe that. I have listened to the concerns of my constituents, most of which are about the education. We have a lot of work to do for education in this country. We realize that we have an education system that caters to those who perhaps are more academically inclined, but unfortunately we have neglected those who need to go into the trades and who are gifted in the trades. Being in a company myself that has tradesmen, it's very sad to me that we have to go overseas to bring people in to do work that people used to be able to do in Bermuda. And people should be proud of being a carpenter. You should be proud of being a welder. You should be proud of being a mason. You should be proud of going into the hotels. You should be proud of anything you do, because we are Bermudians, and as Bermudians we can do what we want if we put our minds to it. We have the tools for the education in this country. We have the organizations that are willing to take people on and help them. We have the Bermuda College. We have the National Training Board. We have companies such as ours that are willing to mentor. I'm sure there are other companies out there that would be willing to mentor if we approached them. We have our youth. The youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. Let us not forget that. If we forget our youth today, we are forgetting tomorrow. And we can't do that as a leadership. We owe it to them and to this country to give them the tools that they require, the education they require, the confidence they require, the self-esteem they require. They are all deserving of the same education. Nobody should be in this country without a computer. No child should have to go to the library every night because they're not able to do homework. This is stuff I have learned going through Smith South. It has really opened my eyes. I didn't think that in a constituency such as Smith South, I would see homes with holes in their roofs, but there are. We need to look after our people. We need to come together. We need to be neighbors. We need to go back to being the neighborhood that we once had. We need to get rid of this gang influence. My own son was very badly affected by a gang, and I know what it does to a child. I've seen it firsthand. We have to work with those young men and women who are involved in the gangs and make them feel part of this society again. Why don't they feel a part of this society? What are they missing? These are all questions we have to ask, and we have to find the answers for. I also realize that we do, at the same time, have to have guest workers in this country. We're blessed with the international business that we have, And through that business, we are able to prosper. Many people work within that business, and that's something that must not be overlooked. But Bermudian training must also happen at the same time. I believe a vote for me will give the constituents of Smith South a voice that will be heard and that will be listened to on the House of the Floor of Assembly. I promise to serve the constituents of Smith South openly and honestly. With my experience in the governance of a school and as a leader of a club, I understand how important it is to communicate with the people that put you there. Communication is key, and we as members of Smith South must continue the dialogue long after the days that we've finished canvassing. We must meet on a regular basis. We need to stay in touch, because if I don't hear from you and you don't hear from me, I don't know what you're looking for guidance from this government. In the last weeks leading up to the election, I don't think I've talked as much as I have in the last 9 weeks or more. In the last weeks leading up to the election, I will be canvassing still within Smith South. And I also want to make available myself to those of you who wish to meet me one-on-one. I understand sometimes you don't have the time when I come to your door, and therefore I encourage you to continue to call me, and I will come back and see you. I also want to continue to encourage you to call me with the problems that you may face. No matter how small they may seem to you, if we can find a solution, we'll find it together. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming out tonight and showing our support, the support of the PLP, the support to my fellow candidates, Wayne and Larry. We've had a little joke going on between the three of us, so I'm not sure who we're calling who today. Anyway, we've dubbed ourselves as the war team. We've dubbed ourselves as the war team because we believe that we need to go out and fight a war. There is propaganda being thrown at us, and we have to overlook that propaganda and see the vision that has been started by this government, and to continue the vision. We know what it is. We know what we want. So I would ask of you on 18th of December to come out as a strong voice and vote en bloc for the PLP. Thank you.